Rolling.
What's going on, guys? Danny Lee here. Like I told you, I'm going to kick you and show you some new videos on the hottest and the coolest trends out there. So what we're doing today is I'm going to show you a new way to kind of find your metabolic rate, body fat, a bunch of cool stuff with a buddy of mine, Matt. All right, so let's come on out here. This is going to be something new that we're going to be doing at Gold's Gym. Kind of give you some more information on what's going on with your body, how to keep a better track out of it, how to make sure you're losing fat, gaining muscle, and not hurting yourself, okay? So let's come on in here. Alright guys, so this is my friend Matt here. He's with the Bod Pod, so what he's going to do is explain his how this awesome piece of equipment works.
Alright, thanks.
No problem, buddy.
The Bod Pod here, this was designed with grants from National Institutes of Health to replace the old dunk test, the hydrostatic test. Has the same accuracy, 1 to 2%. A little bit easier though, we're using air displacement instead of water displacement to get your body's volume.
So, hey Matt, just asking. So we do the handheld body fat here. Why is this one actually better than doing the handheld?
This is the research model Bod Pod. It's the same model all the Mayo clinics and so forth use. This has a 1 to 2% accuracy rating versus the plus or minus 8%.
So it used to be 8% off. You hear that, guys? With the handheld that we tell you it's not very accurate?
Actually, plus or minus 8 would be 16% better.
Oh,
so it's even worse.
That's horrible. So that's not very accurate testing, like I say, because that's a basic idea. But this is so much more accurate. That's what's so great about it.
The downside is that they're inconsistently inconsistent. So generally, those have humidity can even have a big impact on those as well. Whereas this, you're going to get that same consistency with it. The upside to having, why do we need accurate numbers? If you're taking it to the next level and working metabolic numbers off of those to see how many calories the body is burning, if you're using the bioelectricals, which can't read your internal body fat, the visceral body fat, which is the stuff you really want to know about because it is the most dangerous. So if you're working the metabolic numbers off of artificially low body fat, you're working them also off of artificially high fat-free weight. So when you're working to tell your clients and so forth, you need to be at a 500 calorie deficit. You very well could be eating up that deficit in that air rate from having the 8 to 16% variance.
Cool, man. Another thing, I've seen this thing on a whole bunch of different kind of TV shows. I've seen it everywhere lately, so it's got a pretty good reputation. Tell me a little bit about where else you've seen it on and where this is at.
Probably saw it on The Biggest Loser. They use this a lot on The Biggest Loser. Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. Of course, watching that just for the Bod Pod.
Exactly.
NIH, all the Mayo clinics, Duke, UCLA weight loss.
Oh, that's awesome.
The NFL combines, you might have seen it on the NFL network. The NBA uses it for their NBA rookie camps. Most of the college teams now have a Bod Pod now. Some of them have multiple. I think Texas and North Carolina has 5+ Bod Pods now.
So for the most part, it used to be just for professional use, then you could almost say for pro athletes and that type of thing.
Correct, or the real expensive weight loss programs, because it is a piece of research machinery essentially. So most clubs, most teams, even University of Maryland at this point has not been able to get funding for it. So we do University of Maryland athletes, we're their official tester. We do Loyola women's basketball, and are hoping to pick up some more of their teams too. We just tested them about a month or two ago to sort of let them kick the tires. It's all over the place.
Yeah.
It fits 7 foot, 550 pounds. So they wanted to make sure they could get everybody in this, because one of the issues with the calipers and the bioelectrical, they would be more accurate, that plus or minus 8% is between the risky categories. So once you get outside of those, you get to the obese numbers or risky low as far as body fat, those methods actually get even more inaccurate. And unfortunately, 60+% of the population is obese, and there's got to be a good 4 to 5% who are probably under, in the risky low as well. So that's 65 to 70% of the population that this doesn't work with.
It is not working, exactly. Yeah, I know when I hold it, it's always gives me a weird reading because the more muscle mass you have, so you get a totally inaccurate reading. Usually, how long does a test like this take, bud?
You're actually inside the Bod Pod for 2 50-second tests. I open the door in between. You just breathe normally. Try to stay still. For folks that are kind of questioning whether or not it's big enough to fit in, or the question, the claustrophobia, there is an emergency eject button right here that they can press.
There's a freak out button.
Right. Opens the door so you can easily get out of there. But it is the window. Window here goes behind your periphery, right. So you really don't get a sense that you're inside. I sort of joke, if you can ride in the front seat of a car, you can ride in this.
Cool. Well, another question I have, my fiance is pregnant. She's really into fitness, and is this safe for someone who's pregnant? Is this safe for everybody, or?
Yes, sir. It is safe. This just uses air displacement. So the only thing that's happening is this just seals shut. These magnets here use very, very little current. They are even safe for pacemakers. So even somebody who had a pacemaker would be able to get in here, and the magnetics does not bother that. We have a letter from one of the pacemaking companies that does that. Pregnancies it's safe for. I had a guy at one of the hospitals that had 12 lines down his spine, 12 wires. Made me a little nervous, but he was fine. Yeah, it's just air. So you can take this test as many times a day as you wanted to, if you wanted to.
So like I said, we're going to be definitely bringing this awesome piece of equipment to Gold's on the newsletter. You'll see the promotions for it coming out. We're going to do it multiple times now a month. So you'll see the biggest sign-up sheets and everything like that. We'll take so many a day. What's really awesome is this thing is going to sell out really quick, guys, for the days that it is here. So make sure you do jump on it quick. Let one of the trainers know. We will have Matt's information as well, so you can talk to him. So what is some of the information that you actually get after you take the test?
Most folks tend to concentrate on numbers they probably shouldn't. The body fat numbers. It really is the least useful bit of information on that sheet, actually.
Gotcha.
So from the first test, what we're doing is we are breaking your body into the components of fat and fat-free weight. From those numbers, then, we're using what's called the Nelson equation to figure out your resting metabolic rate and how many calories you're burning, total energy expenditure calories burning given certain activity levels. So for trainers and for clients and so forth, it's great to get you on that diet path, which is an overwhelming percentage of the majority of that equation, the fitness equation, of course. With the second testing, then, it actually becomes diagnostic. So we can show you, are you under eating? If you're under eating, you're going to gain fat and lose muscle.
So an example of under eating, guys, is like the women out there, like Matt was saying earlier.
Men too.
That's true.
Men too.
I usually hear from the women that are like, I'm on a 1,200 calorie diet, and I've been there for 2 hours, and they're just not eating enough calories. A lot of times that's hard for you guys to kind of understand that your body is not going to release fat because your caloric intake is too low. So these are the stats that Matt is really going to point out to you, give you some more options on what you need to change.
The question I hear all the time is, folks want to know what in the world is going on. Things are starting to slow down. They're getting up in age a little bit. They're starting to feel that body change. Most of that tends to come from that fat-free or the muscle loss. From that muscle loss, then, that slows the metabolism. So what we're really trying to do is tie everything back into that metabolism and get everybody to be a more efficient machine. So with the undereater, the problem with that is that if you're not giving yourself enough calories, your body thinks that there's not going to be any food available down the road. So what it does is it stores what you eat as body fat, which has over twice as many calories in it than everything else, and your body then burns the muscle for energy. The muscle, of course, is your metabolic engine. So it's actually slowing down your metabolism, which over the course of a winter, if you were a bear, is becoming more efficient. But you don't want that to happen, obviously. You want to try to keep that metabolism going so that you are burning those calories. So this person actually gained 4 pounds of fat, lost 1.5 pounds of muscle between readings. She then upped those calories to over 2,000, and she lost 12 pounds of fat and increased 3 pounds of muscle.
That's huge.
And got the metabolism back up. Same, same workout, same trainer. She just actually had energy for the workout, and more importantly, for the recuperation.
Right. See, those are awesome numbers, guys. Sometimes when we tell you these things, sometimes it's hard to comprehend because we don't have the charts and the sophisticated equipment to actually get the exact numbers. That's what's so great about this test. I mean, it's going to really pinpoint every little detail on what's going on with your body, what kind of changes you make, and as well as it is good to do the before test and also have one done and after test. How long would you say normally have an after test done?
We quarterly, generally.
Okay.
We want to give you enough time to see change.
Right, that's about normal.
But at the same time, if you are going backwards, we don't want you going backwards too long. So we were able to get this person back on track in 3 months, and then 3 months after her second test, she was back on track. She lost the fat, that metabolism picked up, and she's well on her way. Some of the teams with the University of Maryland, the football team was testing monthly at some point, which was a lot.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I think that was a little
hard
too
to see that, right? Well, that's awesome. I mean, numbers don't lie, and statistics don't lie. So,
one other thing with this too is finding an ideal weight.
Right.
So
What do you mean by ideal weight?
Well, a lot of folks, and I'll kind of jump into your female thing here.
Okay.
I'll get in trouble. A lot of the females, are shooting for that 125, 120, 115 weight range that everybody thinks is the right thing. That might not necessarily be the case, because the one thing is we want to make sure that you have enough muscle so that your metabolism is good, and B, obviously not too much fat.
Right.
There is skinny fat, so there are folks who are at 115 pounds who can be 35 and 40% body fat.
I just like that.
I have folks, how in the world can I be 115 pounds and 35%?
Yeah.
You then have to tell them not only do they have a little more fat than what they think they had, but that they have less muscle. So I tend not to meet.
Right,
Yeah. But the idea with it is that what we're able to do is, because we're able to show you a true fat-free weight portion, so we can show you what is the muscle, bone, tissue weigh, then you're able to calculate a safe and healthy ideal weight from there.
Right.
We could say, an example that I go over, I had a female that lost 80 plus pounds. She went to the AMA website. It was telling her that her ideal weight was between 115 and 135. She had 115 pounds of fat-free weight alone. So to get down to the 125 pounds that the AMA was saying was her ideal weight, she would have had to have gotten down to a dangerously low body fat level. She was a former collegiate athlete, so she had a lot of fat-free weight in her body. So essentially, we were able to show her that that ideal weight at a realistic body fat percentage was closer to 140 to 150.
Right. Well, that's awesome information, man. I'm really glad that we're gonna get this going.
Looking forward to it.
Start giving you guys some new fun things to get done. Really, really great information that this piece of equipment does, and he's gonna be doing for us. So what you want to do, keep an eye out for sign-up sheets. You'll see it through the newsletter on when we're bringing it in. And besides that, keep tuning in for the new exciting videos that we're gonna be putting out. All right, talk to you guys soon.